Now, with a $20 billion or more lying in wait to fund infrastructure by investors and the nation's economy gaining momentum, more searchlight is on the strategy being employed by government towards profitable investment in the country. At a discussion with a delegation from Harvard Business School on this, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the focus of the Buhari administration is for the nation to be an industrialized country in the next 10 years. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Present here are some of Nigeria's finest entrepreneurs and intellectuals who are mostly graduates of Harvard University's business faculty. The Nigerian economy is unique and exciting, especially for experts and students of economics. This gathering, therefore, is to welcome some professors from the Harvard Business Faculty willing to learn more about Nigeria and its economy. As the faculty members say, research on the Nigerian economy would provide excellent report for students of economics all over the world. Professor Srikant Datta is leading the delegation.
There is much for us to learn about strategy, marketing, organization structure, managing people, and very importantly, responsibility to society as it is practiced in your country.
As a country that's heavily reliant on oil, how do you think about preparing for climate change? What can you do, what are you doing to bring back that diaspora talent?
A lot of the time, you know, when you look at what the strategists are saying, when you look at what the economists are saying, I mean, many times, obviously, it doesn't really quite work that way.
Nigeria's Vice President and Chairman of the National Economic Council, Yemi Osinbajo, provides answers to the questions raised on what the country is doing to improve the economy, citing the social investment programs, agriculture, the focus on having an efficient civil service for enabling business environment, and development of infrastructure, such as rail, road, and power generation.
We have to rewrite regulations and encourage more people to invest in that sector, and then cost-reflective tariffs and all that. That really is, you know, where we're heading, and we think that in the next few months we will unveil a plan that we hope will deal with many of the critical issues in the power sector.
For an hour and a half, participants discussed the way forward for Nigeria.
Actually, outside, there's a tremendous amount of excitement about Nigeria, and all we need to do is figure out a way to tap into it, and this place can go places.
Cynicism is cheap. Criticism is very easy. We have to do our best, even if it means failing.
I think as we go into business, as we go into the economy, if we're dealing with poverty, we've got to think, how do we get business to make money while impacting on wider society?
At the end of it all, there is the consensus that the country remains aligned of immense opportunities for investors. In Lagos, Jide Onifade, NJ News.
One of the unique components of President Muhammadu Buhari's Democracy Day speech is his intention to take 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by sustaining the mechanism for its actualization. Guests on Tuesday Live are of the opinion that a firm commitment towards blocking all leakages, collective fight against insecurity, and prompt implementation of policies will be the key to actualizing this promise. Do India reports.
From the electioneering campaigns of the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari to INEC's announcements of elections results and the ceremonious presidential inauguration, one thought that presumably occupied the minds of many Nigerians is the freedom from poverty and economic hardship, a desire that can only be achieved with purposeful leadership. And such was the context of President Buhari's Democracy Day speech.
And chart a bold plan for transforming Nigeria.
The president, over 66 guests on Tuesday Live ratified the projection of the commander-in-chief, maintaining that a drastic action on all critical sectors of the nation's economy is key. Nigeria, they say, must take a cue from China, Indonesia, Singapore, and other notable countries that have traversed from poverty level toward power.
The first people that did such kind of thing in the world is China. They lift out 700 million people out of poverty in 20 years. But to do that, there are so many things you have to do.
At least we are expecting to see about 40 million Nigerians taken out of poverty. If that can be achieved, I think that is good for this country.
So the government is clear that we can do this with, this is a purposeful leadership committed to delivering results.
We need to give the President Buhari administration 2015 to 2019 some credit in terms of how it has gone about tackling some of the insecurity challenges within the country. But to expect absolute security.
The guest also emphasized that with the firm commitment on export promotion through agricultural development, war against corruption and insecurity, Nigerians can again have the good old days when basic needs of life were easily met.
To help the small-scale industries, the medium-scale industries, and more importantly, to make funding available to farmers.
And that things are being worked to ensure the country is put back in place.
And so the clock is already ticking, with hopes fully activated by Nigerians waiting patiently for the fulfillment of such promises, just as guests on the show believe that with such demonstration by the Commander-in-Chief, the path to total recovery will just be in a bit. In Abuja, Doing Dia, NT News.
The presidency has cleared the notion making the rounds on some media outlets that former President Olusegun Obasanjo was not invited to the presidential inauguration and Democracy Day celebrations. In a statement by the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu states that the former president owes an answer to Nigerians on his absence from the 2019 presidential inauguration and Democracy Day celebration, because the claim that he was not invited or that he did not receive an invitation cannot be sustained. The statement indicates that a letter of invite was extended to the former President Obasanjo, which was acknowledged by his personal secretary, and if in the circumstance Chief Obasanjo did not see or receive the letter and invitation cards as published by a daily newspaper and several other news platforms, then the former president needs to find out what is happening with his own secretariat, as the government office did its job diligently and should not be blemished for no reason. Moving on, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, says the role of the media will be critical and crucial to the performance of the 9th National Assembly. He was speaking when he granted audience to the National Assembly correspondents who were on a congratulatory visit. The Senate President advised the media to report the 9th Assembly professionally in the interest of national unity, devoid of sentiments. He promised that his leadership will be all-inclusive and will ensure effective discharge of their oversight functions.
We would have no excuse not to work together, not to perform. So we have sought, and by the grace of God and your support, got the office. And it is now the critical time to face the realities of the office. That is to ensure that we bring everybody together, that we work together, that we deliver together. In the process of governance, we are expected to work with the executive arm of government. We are supposed to have a relationship of complementarity. We are supposed to have a relationship that is based on cooperation, collaboration, synergy, and partnership.
Some of the reasons why we decided to embark on this course was one, to actually make it a platform on which we were going to extend the cooperation message to you. Secondly, to also come up with workable strategies which will ensure that we have a harmonious relationship in the National Assembly.
The meeting is expected to enhance the relationship between the 9th Senate and the media. Issues relating to security of lives and property, good governance and effective service delivery dominated discussions as President Muhammadu Buhari granted audience to two more newly elected governors of the governing APC. They were Babagana Umar Zulum of Borno State and his Ogun State counterpart, Dapo Abiodun. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
First to arrive the State House was the governor of Borno State, Northeast Nigeria, Babagana Zulum. His engagement with President Muhammadu Buhari, the first since coming to power, lasted about half an hour behind closed doors. Professor Zulum told newsmen shortly after that security concerns informed his visit.
Security issues are issues that need not to be discussed anyhow. But the government of Borno State want to address the root causes of the insurgency, especially the issue of access road, the issue of access to farmlands, and the issue of strengthening our civilian JTFs and as well as the military to perform better than before to ensure that stability has come to the people of Borno State. The meeting went well.
For the governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, his mission was to formally say thank you to the president for not only actualizing June 12 as Nigeria's new National Democracy Day in honor of the late worthy son of the state, Chief MK Abiola, who was also bestowed with other befitting acts of honor posthumously.
First step of showing appreciation was my coming today. And I'm coming back with my leaders who have asked me to come and ask the president for an appointment. My leaders, traditional institutions, and a few leaders of note from Ogun State want to come and extend the appreciation to the president. So we are very appreciative. This man won a valid election, but until date, he was not recognized. Today, he's back on the map. As a matter of fact, I told the president, most of our kids, our kids do not study history anymore. Many of them didn't know what June 12 stood for. Many of them didn't even know who Abiola was. But after Democracy Day, they began to ask questions. So they are now flipping back the book to say, so who is this Abiola? What indeed happened? So this is what the president has done for us, and we are very grateful. We are very excited about it.
The governor also used the opportunity to share his vision for the Gateway State with the president and solicited his support.
Our mantra is building our future together. So I took the president through what our vision meant, and I shared with him that our vision starts with factors that we call the enabler factors, and those that we call the pillars. And tops on our enabler factor is a good governance factor to provide good and qualitative governance for the people of the state while creating an enabling environment for a public-private sector partnership, which we believe is fundamental to economic growth and individual prosperity.
For a start, he said, workers' salaries are now being paid as at when due. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
There is no doubt that efforts are being put in place year by year to take Nigeria's electoral process to higher standards. Improvement in the legal framework, enforcement mechanism, and carrying along persons with disabilities are some of the ingredients needed to strengthen electoral system. These are submissions of the Electoral Reform Roundtable by members of the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room and Kofi Annan Foundation in Abuja. Adebola Brooksland Sunday was there.
Democracy allows peaceful transfer of power through institutional mechanism, which credible and legitimate elections are regarded as the cornerstone. These key players, comprising local and international observers, acknowledge the fact that there is no election that is perfect, but it remains a key democratic legitimacy. And as Nigeria opens a new 4-year cycle, they want an inclusive and sustained constructive dialogue in addressing concerns towards necessary reforms.
Even in these difficult circumstances, we saw INEC make some improvements.
In many other electoral jurisdictions, there is provision for review of complaints before returns are made.
For the national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshiomhole, the cleanup of the electoral system is in the interest of all Nigerians.
Created a window for corrupt INEC recs and corrupt collecting officers and corrupt presiding officers to pick and choose where to excuse the non-use of card reader and where not to excuse it.
Agitators for good governance say so much lessons have been learned that will help in future elections.
If it is not going to go against the popular Nigerian view, that is when only you can have numbers of political parties reduced.
We'll look at all these issues and then strengthen it so that we can move ahead, particularly since Kogi, Bayelsa, and of course 2023 elections are just around the corner.
Transparent political party nomination of candidates and the need to ensure that no electoral officer conducts more than 2 elections were also recommended. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Buhari Support Group Center has appreciated the report of the European Union observers on the 2019 general elections, which they described as free, fair, and thorough. Statement by the Director General of the Center, Umaru Dembo, states that the report is a vindication of the popular views of Nigerians. The Center called on INEC and the federal government to collate all observers' reports on the last elections and form a special panel to make recommendations out of them that will be useful to the country for future elections. Coming up next, Lagos State set to witness revolution in waste management. Did I hear you say how? Well, don't go away, as News Extra will be right back.
My father is a palm wine tapper. Before him, his father was a palm wine tapper. Perhaps his own father was a palm wine tapper as well.
He was. His name was Aremu Elemu.
This is one of our neighbors where I live and go to school. My mother has sold Boli and Ekpa since I was born. So did her mom. I have a brother who hasn't been the same since the day he saw his favorite artist play live. And me, I'm going to be a big filmmaker soon. I get enough practice with the data my uncle gets from Glow.
Data is oxygen. Enjoy the best data deal in town. Buy your SIM. Dial